It was just a normal thing. Maybe I think.
No, like how is that in a sense connected from now as an adult
Mm.
and back then as a child? How is it having a father there, mother there, a family structure? How is that?
I would say I didn't think much into it, but looking back now, I think it sets the precedence of how a family structure is supposed to be.
You know where I'm going with this now?
Yeah.
Because the whole issue of fatherlessness, I did not know about that thing until I left my vacuum. I'll call it vacuum or our space. Because in that side of the world, it's an inside. If you check now, actually, look back, you realize that mother and father were there.
Exactly.
Even if there was no father, but there was always men in the community. And then we grow up, we find now there's a system outside that where you feel like, hey, it's a norm that there are no fathers in the community. Hence I'm asking you, does it shape you? Do you think we need that more in a space where fathers and a family structure, it needs to shape the future of our kids and their thinking?
Yes, definitely. We need something modeled out. And that's what I'm saying. For me, I like the fact that you mentioned that when you moved out of that, you started to realize that there's another reality that exists out there. So I think that is very important. That's very key, because that will play a huge role later in life. And I don't want to get there yet because I don't want to be ahead.
No, true.
Yeah, that will play a huge role in life. That foundation will stay with you for a lifetime. It will stay with you for a lifetime. And the fact that, and I think because the setup in which you grew up in, there were not a lot of men who went out who were economic migrant.
No, we didn't have that.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
We didn't have that at all.
Yes. So we're not used to a father coming back during holidays or stuff. So it was always there, you know.
It became a very shock for me, to be honest with you, when I grew up, when I went to boarding school, and I learned sometimes fathers come back once a year. And then when I started my foundation a couple of years ago, I learned it was actually a norm that fathers don't come back. But
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Yeah, in some society it's a norm.
But when you look at it in context of South Africa, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It means something was done well within that. I want to say community of, I don't want to say Tonga people as a whole. I don't know how Guyana was like. Probably it was the same model, I think.
It was similar.
It was similar.
Yeah.
Because that means that whole homeland, how it was set up. Fathers were there, families were there, kids. Because even me, to be honest with you, as much as one would say, I don't like how, like is a very bad, strong word. My father and I's relationship, it was not like me and my kids. It was because of where my father is from.
Yes, exactly.
But guess what it did for me? I was able to model. Because with my kids, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is what I don't want. Because dude was there. Dude came back from work daily.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He slept inside the house daily.
Yeah.
So, do you now think the fact that there was a separation, which was very intentional, we'll touch on it some other time, the migration labor, don't you think we now need to reverse that intentionally?
Yeah, we do. We do need to reverse that. And we need to look at the impact that it had. Because right now we're dealing with a generation that grew up, some of them grew up under that system. And now they are working so hard to fight that. And I think a lot of men have done well, actually. We don't really celebrate them.
That's the whole point of this podcast.
Yes.
There are things that I hate, that I hear things like, no, you can't celebrate a fish for swimming.
Exactly.
I hate such statements. But guys, we know we've got an issue of fatherlessness, which it was not of our making.
Yes.
Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
It was not of our making. The system realized a strong family creates strong people.
Yes.
So they broke that intentionally.
Yeah.
So if you see black men being involved, we need to encourage that more so that we can have others coming in to do that, because we need to. There's a stat that states, white fathers, Indian and Asian fathers, their involvement in their families. When we look involvement, it doesn't necessarily mean they are married. Their involvement in their kids' life, it's in the 80-90%.
Yeah.
And then we as black people, we are sitting at 30-something%, 32. That's very low.
That's very low. That's very low.
Something was done for that. So if we see men doing that, instead of ridiculing them, we make fun of them. What is your view on that particular thing?
I think we, like I'm saying, we don't know, or people don't understand how much it takes to model something you've never seen. How much you get to intentionally do something like you just mentioned now. You had a father figure, ne? But out of that, you were able to decipher, this is not what I want. This is not how I want to raise my kids. So out of that, knowing, and as you grow up, you start to get aware that, no, I can do things differently. I can do things better compared to what I've seen. So people don't understand how hard it takes or how much effort it takes for a man to model out something that he has never seen. You understand? To deliberately be present for his kids, because it's not something that is said. And people forget that there is nurture and there is nurture. Yes, nature we created to. Nature is who we are. We created as males. Okay. That's natural, biological. We reproduce. We carry the seed. You understand? That is natural. You don't have to go to school. No one has to tutor you on how to make a baby. It's natural.
By the way, I can't make babies anymore. I'll tell you one day.
Yeah, so it's natural. That's natural. Anyone can make a baby. But fathering is deliberate. Fathering is something that you do out of understanding the role between you and your offspring. What exactly is it that I need to do? It doesn't come natural. That one doesn't come natural. And when people ridicule fathers who are present and they celebrate their present, we celebrate those who are present, they feel like, no, you're supposed to do that. They think it's natural. You understand?
Well, it's actually, hence there are stepfathers who actually come up because they are intentional in doing this particular act.
Yes.
Because I was on SAFM like last night or the other night. A caller said something very interesting. Guys, being a father is actually a verb. It's not a noun. Because it's a do.
It's a doing word. You do it. You understand? Yeah. As opposed to I'm a father. It's not a label. It's a function. Yeah, it's a function. Hence, when you talked about my early childhood memories, the man that I knew as my father was actually my stepfather. But I didn't know that.
Okay, please explain that.
I didn't know that. So he was doing the role of a father. Yeah, role of a father meaning he nurtured, he did whatever he could do. Even though I was very critical of how he did his fathering, and it goes back to how he was fathered. You understand? He never had a father figure. I learned later in life that there are 4 types of fathers: authoritarian father, absent father, passive father, and a loving father. So you can have all of them. You can have a father who is there. Most fathers, or authoritarian fathers, people who you do things as I tell you, or my way or the highway. You have passive fathers, he's there but it's just passive. You have absent father, he's never there. And then you have
it's even on my monologue I describe them
because
it's I say as we speak we have where is this the stereotype of a man who is absent,
exactly,
or present but emotionally disconnected. Or there are those who are willing to be fathers but are blocked from seeing their children.
Exactly.
And of course the one who are constant and part of the family unit.
Yes.
So, yeah, well, there is actually for fathers.
Oh, no, there's another one, abusive father. It's 5. I forgot the abusive father.
So, when do you finally leave that place? And when do you think of having children, getting married at one point in your life? When does it come up?
Okay, so I left. There was a time where I was looking forward to leaving home.